So, to continue with the food analogy, we mentioned earlier about coffee and milk combining to produce something beautiful. We talked earlier about idli and chutney combining to produce something beautiful. So, in the same way, we talked about how the concept of TikTok, that is, by giving one summer action blockbuster alternating with a family drama or comedy or more of a character based talky type of film has become Rajini's strategy not only now but for many years in the past as well. So we look at this Nithilan Swaminathan news in this context. So Rajini, who's keen to explore his more acting style drama concepts and all that, always keeps this lineup of directors in his sights. All right, so that is how ultimately T.J. Gnanavel got the opportunity to work with superstar. Now, again back to the coffee and milk analogy. T.J. Gnanavel has his own style of filmmaking, storytelling, because his background in journalism, he goes more for the gritty documentary type of kind of a film. And whether that would work with somebody like Rajinikanth, who comes in slow motion and there's all these camera tricks that gives us that excitement as he walks in and so on and so forth. So T.J. Gnanavel tried to combine the two, and I always wonder if he had committed to one or the other, whether it would have been better. But Rajini himself told T.J. Gnanavel that the reason he chose that director is because to act in his style of movie. So if they end up making a commercial all-out Rajini movie, then it defeats the purpose. So that possibility of T.J. Gnanavel going hardcore commercial probably is out of the picture, due to not only him not feeling that he's good at it, also Rajini not wanting that, and due to all these multiple factors, and also T.J. Gnanavel's image, right? If he suddenly puts in a Tamana type of item dance, or what's the other girl, Pooja Hegde type of item dance, then his identity as this social issues filmmaker will also get dented, right? So, but he did try to put a bit of Rajini entry, mass scenes and all that in the film Vettayan. But that mix of coffee and milk did not go so well. Maybe the coffee was too much, maybe the milk went too much, I do not know. But that mix did not gel so well. However, there's another category of directors we call journeyman directors. These are directors who specialize in making commercial hits. They just make sure the fights are good, the dancers and dancing and songs and all are good, and they deliver competent product within the budget and time given to them. A classic example is K.S. Ravikumar in the 90s, right? So those who born after the year 2000 and all might not be that familiar with him, but for 90s he was a king, K.S. Ravikumar, the director. So he used to deliver perfect blockbuster hits in the time and budget. That's why people like Rajinikanth and Kamal absolutely loved him, right? So he did not have any major style as such. A few things here and there, maybe you can say how K.S. Ravikumar, he makes sure he does a small cameo in his films and these kind of things, but no major signature or personal style exists. Suresh Krishna is another example. This kind of journeyman, even Amitabh Bachchan back in the day had some journeyman type of directors who were perfect to elevate him. So we can give this example like the rice plus gravy and the bread plus the meat and cheese makes a sandwich. So if the director is a kind of non style based simple director, then Rajini becomes the flavor on it, right? The icing on the cake or the chutney to the idli of the director. Then then the thing explodes, right? Those were the people who gave him his consistent hits. Directors like S.P. Muthuraman, directors like P. Vasu, directors like Suresh Krishna and so on really brought Rajini up to where he is now. So in fact, one can argue that those directors are more important to Rajini than in a sense at the cost to their own images, right? Compared to these so-called artistic directors or these so-called authors and so on. But having said that, Rajini can't keep on going like that forever, because everybody will get bored. And one thing in entertainment field, the last thing you want to do is make people bored. Okay. So now we talked about the combination, the coffee milk which failed, which was T.J. Gnanavel's Vettayan. However, what about directors who somehow still managed their strong personal style because they always had that, and managed to make Rajini's flavor mix in a beautiful blend. So this time you're getting a perfect coffee milk blend, like imagine the Madras coffee coming in piping hot, tastes delicious, and boom, box office blows out, right? So examples, Thalapathy with Maniratnam. Okay, Maniratnam was a director with a very strong sense of style, his own way of filmmaking, until it's become a parody in other films. Comedians make fun of it, right? The way the characters speak in very limited dialogue words, the way that the cinematography quality and style of it, and quality songs, and these kind of things creates the Maniratnam archetype. He tried to break away from it, which caused usually with not so great box office results. And when he did Thalapathy, you see how different Rajini was in the film Thalapathy compared to other commercial movies that Rajini did before that. The way he fought and all in Thalapathy, the fight was rough and gritty and realistic. All the so-called how to say catchwords that current directors use to show that their films are so more authentic. People like Vetrimaran, Paraji, and so on, they did it way back already. Maniratnam and Rajini, the gritty storylines of the underclass and all, they already did that in Thalapathy, right? So. And also the issue between the so-called whether rich people, higher caste people versus those in lower rung, and how their interactions also all done in Thalapathy already, for info of the younger generation. So after that mix of Thalapathy hit, what other potent mixes we got? Nelson is a good example. Nelson was a director with very strong personal signature style, dark comedy, call it. Again, the way the directors, in fact, not only the dialogue that Maniratnam control, in Nelson's situation, even the facial expressions, he's very particular about what extent of expression he wants, because the deadpan comedy is important for him, his style. So again, it was experiment. Both of them were in a doldrums at the time Jailer was made, and somehow that combination also produced beautiful Madras coffee, coffee plus milk, right? So Nelson's own strong style, somehow Rajini mixed perfectly with it. In fact, you see the opening scene, if you compare Veta and Tijananavel's opening scene versus Jailer's opening scene is an anti-climax. It's like very subtle, very simply done, right? Again, Nelson's like to control his artists so that they don't overact. The comedy falls from that. In fact, for us, seeing them not really overacting, right? So but the film clicked so well because it was very competently made. Nelson didn't give up his style, but at the same time he made sure that things were on point, songs were good, and the screenplay kept moving. So that was another great combination. So Rajini is now on the hunt for this kind of what we might call it potent chemical mix, right? We say good chemistry between the director and hero. Some of it he doesn't even go near. His instincts are good. People like director Bala, his ways with the some people even alleged he was violent towards the actors and all. Some allegations that even stars like Ajit, who tried to work in Nankadol initially, had some kind of a fight with director Bala, and that didn't go so well. So he's known to be. Some people make allegations he's sadistic and all that. So true or not, we do not know. But Bala had a very strong sense of style and also way of. He gave hit movies also, but Rajini did not combine with him. At one point, director Amir, who was famous for Paruthi Viran, also was in the rumors to work with Rajini, but that also came near and did not pan out. Okay, again, Amir also had a strong sense of way of doing his movies back in the day. But actors Amir, Bala, and Sasi Kumar Trifecta from Madurai, Amir and Bala were quite hardcore people, and sometimes you wonder how they brain things. So anyway, to summarize, this is Rajini's strategy with Nithilan. So you guys get the concept.